It's review time here at State of Charge. But today I'm going to be doing something a little unusual for me. I won't be reviewing an electric car or SUV or truck or even an electric vehicle charger, as you can see on the wall behind here. Today I'm going to be reviewing an electric snowblower. I just got this Ego electric snowblower, and it's their latest one. It's the 28-inch monster electric snowblower, and it comes with Ego's new batteries. They're more powerful than what they had in the past. These are 12 amp hour batteries. I actually bought an Ego snowblower last year. It was the smaller version of this, 24 inches, and it came with 7.5 amp hour batteries. And my driveway is big. I have over 6,000 square feet of surface area. It's 300 feet long and it's up on a steep hill. And that snowblower couldn't complete it on a single charge. With the 7.5 amp hour batteries, I could get about half the driveway done. I had to come in, charge it up, and then I could do the second half. But now that they have this larger, more powerful snowblower with the batteries are really the key, these 12 amp hour batteries, I'm thinking I can do the whole driveway without recharging. And if I can, that's a huge accomplishment because, as you'll see in a minute, this is a really big driveway. So anyway, let me drop in these new 12 amp hour batteries. They're fully charged. They're the same size physically as the other batteries. Eagle makes their batteries all interchangeable. So I could use the other batteries that I still have in here if I need to finish up the driveway, if these don't work and as well as I hope they will, and allow me to do the whole driveway with one shot. Now, we got about 8 inches of wet, heavy snow, which is the most we've gotten here in New Jersey in a while. It usually snows a lot more than we've been getting the last year or so here, but we got a dusting earlier this year, but it was just an inch or two. This is really the first time I'm going to get a chance to test this thing out. It's about 8 inches and it's wet, heavy snow. It just stopped snowing about an hour ago. We're all charged up. So I'm going to take this thing out. Let's see if the new Ego 28-inch snowblower with the 12 amp hour batteries can do this monster driveway.
Take it real soon. You know we got what you need, baby. So take it, move along. I said we got what you need, honey. Come and groove along. Come on. Rolling on the highway, you know. Wow. Come on, and move it on. Come on, said babe. I said babe.
I was so close. Look at all that needs to be done. It's like, I don't know, 15% of the driveway, maybe 10%, probably even less than 10%. And the batteries just died. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to charge these up and finish the job. Actually, I have the 7.5 amp hour batteries all charged up. from my previous snowblower, which I sold to a friend, but he didn't need the batteries. So now I have the two 12 amp hour batteries here and the two 7.5 amp hour batteries. So I'm certain I could do anything here, even if it's much deeper snow, with the combination of those two, just swapping the batteries. But I really thought the 12 amp hour batteries were going to do the job here. I tell you, this is heavy packed snow. When it finished snowing, it was about 8 inches. It's probably down to about 6 or 7 inches now because it's warm today. It's not that cold. It's about 40 degrees. So the snow is melting and packing down, and the bottom is really slushy. So I think that made this use more energy to throw that heavy stuff. The powder is much easier and lighter to throw. I bet that if this was 8 inches of powder, I would have finished the driveway. One of the things you didn't see, I should have brought a camera down there, was my driveway apron down at the bottom of the driveway. That had been plowed in, and it was about 1.5 feet of just heavy slush, packed slush, and I had to really work it back and forth to get it to throw it, because it was, I mean, it was compacted slush, and it did the job, but I think that ate a lot of the battery and made it so we can't finish. So let's take a walk now down the driveway and see exactly how much this did. As I mentioned, from tip to the end of my driveways, a little more than 300 feet. And as you can see, I have a big landing up here. So it's not just 300 feet of a 15-foot wide driveway. It's a lot more than that. I had the driveway measured once when I had blacktop done. And it was like 6,300 square feet. So it's a lot of surface. I'd say we did, you know, about 6,000 square feet out of it. So I'm impressed with the 12 amp hour batteries, but I am at the same time a little disappointed it didn't finish it. I really thought it was going to finish the job. Okay, so first now I'm going to show you that these batteries here are shot. Let me open it up and I'll record here. They're dead. Even if I turn the power on, nothing lights up. So the batteries are shot. I'm going to charge them up now, but now let's take a walk and see exactly how much this thing did, which is a lot. As you can see, the landing here is pretty big. Got the Lightning, which I've already cleaned off and driven today, but the Rivian, that has not been driven. Let's see how much we've done here. This is really wide, this section of the driveway, and it narrows down as we get to this turn here. It's still pretty wide. I actually widened it when I bought the house because it was hard for trucks to get up and make deliveries. Made it about 5 feet wider than it was originally. And when we get right to about this point here, this is where it narrows down, and it's, I don't know, 15 feet wide, something like that. Let's take a walk down. Now you notice down the center here, there are some chunks of snow. That's the one thing I noticed. If I tried to bite off the full 28 inches of width that the snowblower has, it was piling up, like rolling up in balls because it was so compactable and falling off the side of the snowblower. So I tried not to go full 28 inches each way. I was only biting off probably about 24 inches, but it was still doing it to some extent. I think it was just too much hard packed snow that was trying to get into the chute, and it was overflowing and balling out like that. Now this is the apron that I was telling you about. So I cleaned this whole thing out, including where my mailbox is. This was all plowed in with thick, heavy snow. So let's take a look here. Let's walk up from the bottom of the driveway. Okay, there you get a good idea of just how long the driveway is. And on a side note, I actually planted all of these shrubs myself about 15 years ago. They were tiny little the 1 foot balls, and it was quite a job. But anyway, so here's how the Ego did. I'm satisfied with it. At the same time, slightly disappointed because I really thought these 12 amp hour batteries were going to be able to knock off this driveway under any condition, but it didn't do it, not yet. Maybe when they come out with the next batteries, maybe they'll be 15 amp hour or 18 amp hour. I'm sure that would do it because it came really close. My solar system up there, you can see in the top right corner, it's starting to melt and slide down. That'll like slide off as almost one big sheet. It's kind of dangerous. You don't want to be standing under a snowfall like that when the snow slides off of solar panels. Okay. So here we go. And you could see exactly how much it got done. And this tiny little section here is all that's left. So I'll charge up the batteries. Actually, I'll drop in the 7.5 amp hour, pull the trucks out and finish it up. Okay, so this is the part of the video where I was going to go over all the features of the snowblower, give you a close-up look at it, show you how to charge the batteries and all that stuff. However, a few days after I shot that video, we got another snowfall here in New Jersey. This time it was only about 3 inches of really light powder. So I fully charged up the 12 amp hour batteries, put them back in the Ego, and went out to see if the snowblower could complete my entire driveway on a single charge with this light snowfall. All right, doing a little follow-up video here. About 5 days after I shot that first video where we had the snowstorm, where it was about 7 or 8 inches of the real heavy pack stuff, we got another snowstorm here in New Jersey. This time it was 3 inches of light fluff. So I came out, charged the batteries up, did the whole driveway. Everything's done. Didn't shut off. I haven't checked the batteries, I guess, state of charge. I don't always show you a state of charge, but they've got these bars on top of the batteries that tell you how many bars are left. Haven't even checked yet. The front is covered with snow, the top. This is where the batteries are in here. So I'm going to turn it on. I just finished. And wow, it's showing there's more than half the battery left. And I did the whole driveway of this light powder. I mean, it just blew it so easily. And I was suspected that that was part of the issue in the last snowstorm, why it couldn't finish the driveway, because it was really heavy, thick, packed snow. But this was light and fluffy. Did the whole driveway and the 2 walks, the walk in the front of my house and the walk behind my house. So let's take a look at how much of the batteries are left here. So as you can see, those 3 lights lit show 3 out of 5 of the battery cells, I guess they're not really individual cells, but that shows that about 60% of the battery is still left, or at least it's probably that third of the battery hasn't been used up yet. So it's somewhere between 40 and 60% of the battery is still left. That's amazing. And so it did this whole driveway and still has, you know, about half the battery left. That's nuts. So that's what I suspected with the last snowstorm. It was just that heavy, wet snow just ate up more of the battery. So that's the good news. This can do my whole driveway depending on how heavy and deep the snow is. Here's the bad news. The handle broke. These handles are plastic, and the handle that operates the auger cracked. I'm going to show you right here. So this is kind of a weak, flimsy handle here. I don't like it, unfortunately. I wish I could replace these with metal handles. So unfortunately, I got to figure out a way of dealing with that, because this is a super weak point here. Just gluing it isn't gonna solve it. It's gonna break again for sure. So maybe Ego sells a replacement part that's metal. I doubt that, but maybe I could just get the whole replacement part of this handle and then be a little bit easier with it next time. You shouldn't have to be easy with the handles, though. You should be able to beat the hell out of them. You know, that's what you're grabbing all the time and squeezing. So that's the follow-up. Yes, my new Ego 28-inch snowblower can do a driveway that's bigger than 6,000 square feet, but they could make it a little bit more robust for long-term service. All right, so I guess I kind of got an answer to my question of, can the new 28-inch Ego snowblower with the 12 amp hour batteries clear the snow off of my entire 6,000 plus square foot driveway? And the answer is sometimes. It's going to depend on how deep the snow is and how heavy it is. So I am happy that there's some instances where it's going to be able to do the whole thing and I won't have to swap out with my other batteries or recharge the 12 amp hour batteries. As I mentioned, I also have a set of the 7.5 amp hour batteries. So that combination, I'm pretty sure I could do almost anything with, even if it's like a foot of snow, but we'll have to test that out in the future. Now, talking about the batteries, you can buy Ego power tools, the snowblower, and their full array of power tools, and they have all kind of stuff. Chainsaws, lawn mowers, blowers, all kind of equipment, with or without the batteries. That's because, for instance, now that I have two sets of some of their most powerful batteries, if I wanted to buy a lawn mower or a blower, I don't need to buy the tool with the battery. You could always buy them separately. Ego sells them both ways. Now, for instance, this 28-inch snowblower without the batteries is $1,500. If you want it with the 12 amp hour batteries that I have, and two of them fit in here, then it's $2,200. So you pay $700 more for the 12 amp hour batteries. And that's actually a really good deal, because if you bought the batteries separately, if you buy one battery, it's $600. If you buy the 2-pack of the batteries, it's $1,000. So you get $300 off the two batteries if you buy it with the snowblower. So that's when you want to buy the batteries in conjunction with one of their tools, because you're going to get them at a good discount. Now, the snowblower and the batteries are warranted for 5 years. I don't know exactly how the battery warranty works, because I'm sure it's going to degrade over the years. So I don't know if they warranty it against degradation or just complete failure. I have a feeling it's probably against just complete battery failure, which shouldn't happen. One thing I will tell people, these are lithium-ion batteries, and I would recommend when you store them, let's say over the summer when you're not using the snowblower, I would charge your batteries to about 50% and leave them that way over the summer. You don't want to charge them to 100%. Just like electric cars or electric vehicles, it's not good to charge the batteries to 100% and just let them sit for a very long time. That's how they degrade a little bit faster. So my goal is to keep these at about 50, charge them about 50%, and then let them sit over the summer in an area that isn't too hot. You also don't want to, let's say, store these in your attic that might get 100 degrees for weeks at a time. Keep them in a cool place and keep them at about 50% charge, and you should be good for nice long life with your Ego power batteries. All right, so let's take a look at this unit. So this is where you drop the batteries in. The power on-off switch is right in the middle of this top section here. And one of the things that's really cool about this snowblower, that the 24-inch snowblower that I had about 1.5 years ago, this has this power chute. It's electric control joystick, and it does both ways. It has the chute to go up and down and side to side. And it also has 200 degrees of motion. So it even goes further than 180 degrees. You could really blow the snow in the direction that you want it to be blown in. It also has heated grips. There's a button on the top here. You press it, and these grips get nice and warm. I used it. I didn't really notice that much of a difference through my gloves, because it's not like you're going to be grabbing these with your bare hands when you're using the snowblower, and your gloves are thick, and it gives a little bit of a difference. I think it's a waste of energy. I'm not going to use it, but it's kind of cool that they have that. They have these lights here, LED lights. There's 2 lights up here, a light bar here, and also lights across the front there to really light things up if you're clearing the snow at night. One of the things that's really cool is it has a feature where it has this steering assist on the bottom of the two grips here, you pull it in and it only turns one of the wheels, so you can make near 0-degree turning radius. It's very, very simple. One of the things I've always struggled with snow blowers is making the turns, because you kind of have to muscle it around when you're making turns, and this will allows you to make really, really sharp turns, which was really cool. On this side here, this grip here, the one that broke, controls the auger. And this controls your motion, your speed. Oops, I had it in reverse. Little mistake there, which we'll get to next. This on the left side of the top of the panel here is your reverse. There's, let me see, 1, 2, 3 speeds in reverse. And then there's also 3 speeds, or I think 4 speeds forward. But the one thing I will mention is the faster you go, the more energy you use. And also, with as far as the chute and how far you can blow the snow, this can blow snow up to 60 degrees. I think it shows it right there. Let me see if I can put it sideways. You probably can see that a little bit better now. See, it says 60-foot throwing distance, and it will throw it 60 feet. I was playing around with it, really throws it far. And that gets actuated with this handle on the right side of the top of the control panel. It goes from eco all the way up to turbo. There's, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think there's 10 different settings. Unless you really need it to throw it far, to get it off the path, don't put it up to turbo. Leave it down in eco. For my driveway, I did almost the entire thing, except when I came up on the top. There were a couple instances I had to turn it up a little bit to throw it a little bit further. I had it in eco the whole way. And even in eco, it throws it about 15 to 18 feet, the snow, which is typically all you need to get it out of the way of what you're clearing, because that uses a lot of energy. The further you have this thing throwing the snow, you're just wasting the battery. Now, of course, if you have a small driveway and you have these 12 amp hour batteries, you're never going to run out of power anyway, and maybe you want to throw the snow off over the street and show everybody how powerful your electric snowblower is. Go ahead, have at it. But if you want to save the batteries as much as possible, leave that down in eco, and it throws it really far, and you're saving a lot of energy. I noticed just playing around with it, it really uses a lot of energy if I throw the snow a little bit further. Okay, well, that's it for the control panel. Now let's take a look at the snowblower itself. On the front here, we've got the snow clearing shovel here. You definitely want to use this. You never want to stick your hand into the snowblower. And if for some reason you have to, lift this up, pop the batteries out so that they're not in there connected at all. If you ever want to reach your hand in there, make sure the batteries aren't in there. Don't just turn it off. You never know. A lot of people lose fingers and hands inside snowblowers. This handy snow cleaning tool is always right here if you need it, because it's stacked to the top. It's attached right to the top. They also give you 2 shear bolts that are right on the top of the motorized chute here. I'd recommend when you buy your snowblower, get an extra bag of these things. You're going to go through your shear bolts. If you use any kind of snowblower, you know those are designed to fail so that you don't have a problem with your auger gear, and you will snap these shear bolts. And the worst thing that can happen is you're in the middle of doing a job and you snap your shear bolt, and now you can't finish the driveway and you got to run out to the store. So buy a bag of these things and always have your shear bolts ready, because you're going to use them, trust me. So as I mentioned, this is a self-propelled 2-stage snowblower, meaning it has the auger down below that's spinning. It doesn't spin that fast, it just kind of sucks the snow in, and then it's got the impeller built in down below the chute here that really spins fast, that throws the snow out. That's why it's able to throw it so far. We've got these really big tires here. They're 16-inch high tires by 5 inches wide. Really good grip. They're much bigger than the ones that are on the 24-inch snowblower that they sell. And Ego claims that the batteries they use on this are the industry's most advanced battery technology for power tools. They are lithium-ion cells, 56 volt, and you can get them in a variety of amp hour sizes. I think it starts at 2.5 amp hour and works all the way up to these 12 amp hour battery cells. I'm sure within a year or so, we're gonna see like 15 or 18 amp hour, but these are really powerful, and I'm impressed that it could do my huge driveway as it is with these without having to recharge it. Now, when you do have to recharge it, there's a variety of different battery chargers that you can buy from Ego. I have the one that charges 2 of the batteries at the same time. The 7.5 amp hour batteries take about 2.5 hours to charge if they're fully depleted. And these 12 amp hour batteries take almost 4 hours to fully charge. And one of the things that I noticed was when I originally plugged them in, they wouldn't charge. The charger was just blinking red. It was because the batteries were too hot. So just from using them for an hour or so, whatever it took me to completely exhaust them, the battery cells got really warm, so they wouldn't charge. And it took about a half an hour before they even began charging. They had to cool down. So you have to factor that in if you are planning on using the batteries down to nothing, then plugging them back in, recharging them, and going out and using them again. If you got a really big surface to clear, you're not going to immediately start charging them. And I did this twice, and both times it wouldn't start charging the batteries immediately. So that's something to consider. You're going to have some downtime there unless you have 2 sets of batteries like I have and can just plug them in while the other ones are cooling down before they charge. This video, as well as all of the videos here on State of Charge, is sponsored by Qmerit. Once I've helped you decide which electric vehicle charger you're going to buy, then follow the link in the description of my videos and have Qmerit install it. So overall, I'm very happy with this snowblower, and I'm glad that I bought it. I was looking for an electric snowblower for years that could tackle my big driveway here, and they just weren't available. The battery technology just wasn't where it is today, but now, as you can see, this thing can actually do this big driveway without even having to recharge, so I'm really happy about it. And the overall construction of the snowblower seems pretty robust. Yes, there's some plastic parts in it, more so than what I see with some combustion snow throwers. This panel here is all plastic out. It seems like it's pretty tough plastic. This casing here, the battery casing, is plastic, but these bother me, these handles. And as you saw, this one handle broke already. These handles should be metal. These things should not be plastic, or at least they should be solid. They have this whole opening here that makes them very weak where you can twist them. So I'm really disappointed in that. I wish I could get these made in metal. I'm sure that's not an option. I even looked online to see if I could buy a replacement handle. And the crazy thing is the parts list for this snowblower has like every part on it, but these handles are not included on there. I couldn't find any number to reference these plastic handles. I know they must sell them, but the parts list that they have listed on the Ego site include everything up here, all this handle, these handles, everything on the front, but these handles are not listed on there. I'm going to probably end up just taping the heck out of it with electrical tape and just using it that way. Maybe I can get one of my followers to 3D print a more robust handle for me for this part here. I'm not really good at 3D printing. I'm not going to try that just yet. But yeah, I need to figure out what I'm going to do with this because that bothers me. $2,000 snowblower shouldn't have these really cheap, thin handles. And if you do get it, be careful with them because, second time I use it, I broke the damn thing. And that's just inexcusable, as far as I'm concerned. They should be metal. All right, well, that's it for my review of the Ego 28-inch 2-stage snow thrower. I'm sold on it. I'm glad I bought it. And if you want to buy one, I will put a link in the description of this video so that you can order your own. And, if you do that, leave a comment in the comment section here and tell me if you're happy with it or not. Listen, if this is your first time here at State of Charge, please don't forget, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming electric vehicle news and reviews and the occasional snowblower or other electrical device review. And as always, thanks for watching.